I owned 5 rental properties out of state. Was it worth it? It was an interesting experience. I sold them all, so that should tell you something. Real estate is one of the best ways to build wealth, but it's not purely passive, depending on how you do it. You can hire property management, and makes it easier. It's still usually not 100% passive. Things still come up. You still have to manage the managers, essentially. You have to make sure they're not ripping you off. Things happen. It's paperwork. I learned a lot from it. I bought my first property when I was 20 years old. Investing in real estate, I think, helped me understand investing better, because it helped me look at going after more modest returns, 10%, 15, 20% maybe. Some people will be trying to do super high risk, high reward investing with stocks or options where they're trying to double or triple their money in a week. So owning rental properties helped me with that mentality. There were definitely headaches, and part of it was my fault. I wasn't on top of the tenants as much as I should have been, and they take advantage. That's just unfortunate. Say they're a couple of days late to pay, and then you don't say anything, and then next month they're a little bit later, and then they just take advantage. So it was partially on me just not really paying attention to it, which is bad because I'm very cheap, and that was just bad. It wasn't me being like too nice. I wasn't on top of it. So it can be done for sure. Property management helps. If you have time, if you're organized, you don't even need property management. Some of them I didn't even have managers. If something was leaking, the tenant could tell me, and I call a plumber. I call an electrician if there's an electrical issue. Usually I try to have it dealt with by a local handyman. That's usually going to be the more cost-effective route. So whether or not it's worth it really depends on your style, your temperament. If you really want to pay attention to it, it's not like another full-time job, but stuff happens. You got to make calls. I was working different shifts, and there was a difference in time zone. So it was hard to call people, and that made it harder. But the reason why I chose out of state is because I live in California, and it just didn't make sense for me to buy rental properties here. Numbers didn't check out. I had some in Michigan and Ohio. Made more sense. You have to look at the home prices compared to the potential rent you would get. So it very well could be worth it. Maybe just buy one property at a time if you haven't bought one yet, and see how you like it. Maybe get a property manager and just stay on top of it. Stay organized. You can have spreadsheets. It took me a while to even start using a spreadsheet to log all the rent and everything and all the expenses. Google Sheets or Excel, great. You can have different tabs for like property taxes and maintenance and different contacts, and it's pretty helpful. So I learned from it. I'm also glad that I sold them. I'm more into stocks. I like running the numbers. I like calculating. I like doing the research. It suits me better specifically. I'm a numbers guy. I like math. With real estate, I didn't want to have to be woken up with a phone call. This is leaking, and somebody literally drove into my property, hit my house with a car, and the tenant called and said, like, I don't know what happened. Sorry. I'm thinking maybe it was a tenant. I don't know. But somebody just drove into my house, my rental property. Another property that there was always an excuse. There was always, when rent was due, there was a funeral. She was pregnant. Her dog was pregnant. Her husband was pregnant. It was always something. There's always something broken, and it can be a headache sometimes. Sometimes it can work out well. So when people online are telling you like real estate is completely passive and Maybe they had it set up differently, but it can definitely be not passive. So maybe just take one at a time and see if it suits you specifically.